as my friend Emily just decided to remind me today, when in doubt, a little extra rope is very, very helpful. There was once a time where I was hunting upstate. This was near Ithaca with another Service-Side member, Jeremy, awesome guy. And the boys did not want to hunt the morning. They were tired. We had been we really got the most out of that trip that we possibly could. It was awesome. We went pheasant hunting, we went deer hunting, we were all over. And that morning they wanted to sleep in. I still wanted to deer hunt. And Jeremy pointed me in the direction of one of his stands. And I was like, okay, great, fine. You guys don't want to go. I will go by myself. That's fine. I walked it the night before, so I was a little bit like familiar with where I was going. Went out there the next morning to get up in the tree, looked at the tree stand, and there was no bow rope. And now your bow rope is essential to let you climb the tree hands-free. And you just, bow rope hangs down from the top of the tree. You tie it around the limbs. And once you're at the, at the top, you're sitting in the tree stand, maybe you've harnessed in, then you will like bend over and pull your bow up by that rope. So without that rope, I would have been climbing into the tree stand with one hand, the other hand like holding my bow, which is very unsafe. I don't recommend doing that. It was an unfamiliar stand to me, and I am 5'2". Jeremy is about 6 feet tall. So the step from the last bit of ladder to the actual platform, there was just no way. I would have had to have put my bow on the platform, risked stepping on my bow as I was climbing onto the platform. The whole thing was just super unsafe. So I did not attempt that, and I sat on the ground for a few hours instead. But that was my very valuable lesson of always have at least some bit of rope on you. And now they make these retractable bow ropes that you can actually clip onto your backpack. I use them when I'm going up in a climber, because I actually clip it to the side of the stand when I'm doing that, because then the rope lets out as you are climbing, and then you just pull it up as you go. So again, always have something like that with you. The other thing, well, probably the most important thing in regards to safety is your harness. And I can't scream this loud enough about the importance of using a safety harness when you are hunting out of a tree stand. I was using a climbing tree stand, and for those of you that don't know, a climbing tree stand is in 2 parts, and they have teeth in a V, and the teeth in the V grip the tree as you literally shimmy up it like a caterpillar. And I have been laughed at by quite a few people I know for getting about 5 feet off the ground, just about, my height up, looking down, saying, okay. And I will put the tree strap around the tree before I continue to climb up. I also will not release the tree strap from around the tree until I am just about safely on the ground. There was a time when I was using my climber. I use a Summit Viper Mini. It is approximately 18 pounds going in and out of the woods on your back. So, and I attach my backpack to it. So if you do that math, I have about 50 pounds of gear on my back at any given time when I'm doing some of those longer hikes to tree stands. Just to give you guys an idea of what goes into this, and some of the physical limitations that we might face. That was not easy for me to do my first season. I really had to build up to that. And I firmly believe that fitness is a big part of hunting. And that's not a physical thing. That's just being able to put something on your back. It has nothing to do with aesthetics, just sheer, strength and will to get from point A to point B. Knowing what you can lift is very important. And getting comfortable doing that if you're going to be going by yourself, especially on public land and things like that. But I digress. The harness. Literally climbing down from a tree, tired, all day sit, pretty hungry, ate all my snacks within the first 3 hours of sitting there. It happens. Bring more. That's all I have to say about that. My tree stand was very new to me. I really hadn't figured it out yet. Another live and learn. I don't recommend going into the woods until you have completely understood your equipment, practice with your equipment. And me in my head, I've used a climber before, no big deal. This was one of my first times out with my new climber. And there's a connecting piece, kind of like a bungee, between the top and the bottom. Now, that piece of bungee was probably a little bit longer than it should have been to meet my height requirements. I could stand to shorten that a little bit, which is not difficult to do. I just had to kind of make the effort to do it, and I had not done it. So I'm actually climbing down the tree after being up there for quite some time. And I lose footing somehow on the bottom half of my stand, and the bottom half of my stand falls out from under me. So I am now tethered to the tree in front of me, because you climb down facing the tree. So I'm tethered to the tree in front of me by the tree strap of my harness, right? My bottom half of my climber is now below me, and just out of reach of my feet. I'm trying, using the tension on the tree strap. I had to lower myself down and pick up the bottom half of my tree stand and firmly grip those teeth into the tree again. It took me a lot longer to explain that than it did to happen. There was no room in that moment for me to second guess what I was doing. My tree strap was holding me. I was 15 feet off the ground when this happened. If I was not still tethered to the tree as I was climbing my way down, I would have fallen. I don't know that I would be in such good spirits telling this story again. So something to consider, your harness is important. I have it right here. This is a hunter safety system contour vest. It was something that they put out specifically for women. It's kind of similar to like rock climbing. These go around your thighs. Your tree strap goes around the tree and it zips up. I like the contour because it's got an extra layer. So I'm a little warmer in it than I would be in some of those harnesses that are just straps. But again, your harness is going to be one of your most important pieces of equipment. Take it from me, that was a very scary experience. But if I wasn't so, set in my ways and terrified of heights, right, I might not be telling this story in quite the same way that I am today.